Good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. So, why am I out here doing this live today? Let's talk about some city liability, folks. In the newspaper, the Lawrence Journal-World, that basically spins the city's narrative all the time, they roll like that, there is a story about an assault that happened out here, a justified assault. But it's been made out to be just more homeless violence. So let's actually go through what actually happened out here. And you know, you can doubt things that I say, but you're gonna come out here and talk to the witnesses like I have and record their statements for the record, for our record. I've got recorded statements from the people that saw what happened out here and witnessed it and were a part of it. There was a man that's been trespassed from this camp because of multiple problems. Violence, creeping people out, just different things. He's been trespassed out of here. Now, keep in mind that advocates that are trespassed out of here, boy, we set foot in there and boom, police are called and we're gone. Not a one of us has ever harmed anybody in here. Not a one of us. Okay, but this guy is allowed to come and go in this camp all day long. 3 times he's in there. Staff won't get him out of there. Staff can't seem to pay attention enough to keep him out of there. So he's creeping one of the women out. He's starting a fight with Vance. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Vance is the chief, man. And you know, he's the leader of he's one of the leaders in the community out here. And he's one of the last leaders really left inside that homeless camp here that they have set up, that the city's controlling. But what he does is he decides that's not gonna work, that the city just gonna let this guy in, bother his people, and then, yeah, city attorneys and you guys in the police department, what's this about this guy raping somebody? We'll call her person N. You know, how about that? And how about him assaulting person B on the bus? But he's allowed to come and go inside this camp. And then when a protector out here tries to run him off and the guy's calling him out, trying to get him to go outside and fight him, Vance even turns to somebody else and tells them to call 911 before any violence had actually happened. But this guy continues and won't leave, and staff won't step in to do anything. So Vance takes care of business. Now I'm going to tell you right now that Vance took care of business inside his screened-in porch. If you come to my house and you come inside my screened-in porch and call me out and try to get me to fight and are creeping my wife out, and I know that you're suspected of raping my neighbor, you're lucky if you get out of my porch area with just a busted head. You're lucky. But out here, these homeless folks, they apparently have no rights to protect themselves at their home. What is that? So you have somebody that can come in here and just harass them and you don't do anything about it. The only people you throw out of here are advocates that are here to help, supporting people. You know, and let's go beyond that. Cicely, I don't know what the hell you were thinking, guys. Cicely is the person behind. Cicely Thornton is her name. She's the person behind all the trespassing out here and the fact that they've thrown all the evidence. She is the decision maker behind this, okay? This woman had the nerve to call me yesterday and send me texts wanting me to do her a fucking favor. So what I told her is this conversation is going to be a lot different before I ever do you any favors. First, you're going to quit blocking advocates out of here. Second, you're going to quit using the criminal justice system to fuck with people and come out here and actually do your jobs. Now guys, the night that assault happened, that was the same night that I was out here later in the night filming because there was no staff here. So you have a violent assault that happens because the guy is inside my friend's fenced-in porch. And the guy took care of business. And you arrest him and throw him in jail, and then that's their protector here. and then you leave this unstaffed and just let it be what it is. We're not going to do that anymore. You're going to have staff out here, and your staff is going to start handling business, and they're not going to be allowing people to come inside here and aggravate people and harass people. And Cicely, I know your head's on a plate because of all this, but you're not going to take it out on us. So whatever you guys are doing up there in City Hall, blocking people out, taking advantage of people. God, you know, there was something that came about here not too long ago now, where a staff member or two was saying that if somebody quit saying something they didn't like hearing, that then they could get a tent. And that's not how this works. You know, that's damn near extortion when you say stuff like that. But that's how you guys treat this community out here. Now this is their screened in front porch, Cicely, and I expect you to keep them safe, or allow Vance to whoop the shit out of somebody that comes in here raping people and screwing around with his mom and screwing around with other people. So you can either handle it or expect the community to handle it. That's what happens. It's just like that shower trailer down there that's all broken down now. You guys could have handled it and been down here to monitor your expensive assets, but no, you can't even do that. And then you also let the people down. So you're letting the assets down, you're letting the equipment down, you're letting the people down, you've let the community down as a whole by the way you've handled this. When are you going to quit letting everybody down? Hey guys, you gotta help me share this and get it out, because Lawrence needs to be on the map for a lot of different civil rights attorneys out there, because the fact that Vance is in jail for defending his community against a guy that was a known problem. The city knew this guy was a problem. They knew he shouldn't have been here, and they refused to do anything about it. The cops come out here and the guy hides in a tent. Is that really how this works? So a guy can just come out here, a violent person can come out here and hang out in this site, and when police show up, he's just hiding in a tent and there's nothing you can do? I wonder if an advocate, like, you know, let's say, I might have to try this, guys. This might be my next ticket for trespassing in here. Because how about I go in there and then I go down and hide in a tent? Are you just gonna give up and let me stay in there too? Seriously. Because I don't think that's the way it's gonna go, is it? You guys are gonna go searching tents to find me, but you can't go searching tents to find a suspected rapist and somebody that's been a problem out here creeping girls out. Seriously. So y'all can get it together, or you can keep blaming us, the advocates, for your problems. But we didn't go in the camp and assault people. We didn't go in the camp and rape anybody. We didn't go in the camp and creep people out. We've actually been bringing ice and water out here and stuff. And while we're at it, you know, it's funny how much the city needs from us here lately. You know, the city doesn't have a way to keep ice and things like that out here in the kind of volume that they need to handle the camp. So they're relying on advocates to bring it out here. They're relying on the same advocates that they've thrown out of here to do these things for them. That's the hypocrisy of our city here. They lay down all these rules, but again, the rules are for thee and not for me. And that's not gonna work anymore. Just like the downtown situation the other day, they were just gonna throw everybody in jail because, well, fuck it, they're homeless. Let's just get them off the streets and get them out of everybody's hair, right? Whether they did anything wrong or not. But this idea that Vance is gonna go to prison over defending his people, no, we're not letting that happen. And you guys are done allowing that to happen, because this is the city. You guys let that guy in here. You let him come in here and be threatening to people that you claimed that you were gonna be protecting. So you make all these commitments, and then when you don't follow through, somebody else takes the blame. That's exactly how this works, and we're tired of it. We're tired of you blaming people that are marginalized for their own issues that you've helped create. What the fuck, man? And so I find out our city manager is out of town the rest of the week. Our assistant city manager, apparently in charge of the police, is out of town for the rest of the week. Who the fuck's in charge around here anymore? You know? The city commission has no authority. They can't reach down into city business apparently, or they're all unwilling to. And actually tonight, they're gonna make moves to limit our free speech in that room even more by making it to where the public can't pull anything off consent items. So now they just pass through stuff and we're not allowed to speak to it at all. So you can limit stuff inside that room, but the worst thing that's happening that you can't limit is me out here exposing it. You can't do a damn thing about that. So you shut down whatever you want in that room. Pressure's coming, folks, because I'm just gonna keep doing this until the audience builds, till the fire builds up enough. And someday you're gonna realize that you could have put this out when it was at this point or long ago. You could have put this fire out. It's just like Casey Toomey, the one that's the assistant city manager that's supposedly in charge of the police. You know, she doesn't want to talk last night at the Community Police Review Board work group meeting, but she tells me to schedule a meeting with her. I try to do that today, and all she has time for is a late in the day 4:30 phone call. And I tell her, no, I want to meet in person. She says she's uncomfortable to meet with me in person. Now, Casey, why are you uncomfortable to meet with me in person? If your job is perfect and you're doing everything perfect, why wouldn't you meet with me in person? Are you afraid that I'm not going to believe your lies? Are you afraid that I might bring evidence that you would have to look at? Because that's really why I want to meet in person. I want to bring you some things and show you some things. And you need to be able to comment on them. You're Rich's boss. What are you doing? You just letting him run the police department like you're letting him run the police work group? Manage it? God, you guys. Folks, we have a city commission meeting tonight, and we need people there. If you're a Lawrence resident, you need to be there. Whether you're out of town or not, you need to be on Zoom, and you need to be in there telling them what we're thinking, because this kind of shit is unacceptable. They can't continue to criminalize people for protecting themselves, especially when the city created the risk by negligence, by their own freaking negligence. They have the rule in place that they're more than happy to enforce against people that aren't a problem. But somebody that is a problem, no rules apply. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And the minute anybody has a problem with it, that person gets thrown in jail. No. And you know, you can say that Vance might have hit him a little hard. I want to ask each and every one of you, how hard are you going to hit the guy that's standing inside your front porch, your screened in front porch? Because that's what they've created here. How hard are you going to hit the guy that's standing inside your screened in front porch that raped your cousin? Or raped your sister? Or your neighbor? How hard are you going to hit them? Do you think you might expose their skull? Because that's what happened. Dude went to the hospital with a major laceration. As he should have. As any of us would have done in our screened in front porch. This is their screened in front porch, Cicely. You put up all your Ring doorbell cams out here. You know, that's basically what you've done. All these fucking cameras out here. And all you've done with those cameras is enforce rules and laws against against the wrong people. Who have you helped get out of here with those cameras that actually benefited the crowd here, that actually benefited the community? Have you helped get anybody out of here that was actually a problem? Or is it just the advocates? Guys, I'm gonna sign off here. Come to the city commission meeting. If you can't come, reach out and talk to them. They gotta know what Lawrence is feeling about this stuff. Because I know my neighbors aren't okay with it, and the people that I talk to aren't okay with it. And they don't want to come out and go on camera. There's a lot of private people that are afraid of retaliation from people. And that's a real thing. I've had these fuckers retaliating to people around me. I have to tell people to be cautious if you're gonna stand next to me, because they'll come after you too. But I don't mind standing alone, fellas. I'll stand out here alone all day long and do this. Peace out. Lawrence Accountability, bringing transparency to Douglas County.